Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another D&D episode. On the last episode, the group did make their way to Undercity, where they met the Slayer's Take and proceeded in completing contracts for gold and their membership. I feel like my chair just broke. And their membership to join the Slayer's Take. Upon doing so, they were allowed to bring one member of the Slayer's Take. They chose Kira, who is the main cleric of the Slayer's Take, and they proceeded to go hunt down a goth. However, Kira did unfortunately lose her life during this contract. Ranzor and Mahin, trying to stop Alistair from saving her, tried everything they could, but they could not bring her back to life. After the group returned, they decided to get some rest, and the next morning is when we started this session. They started off. Mahin and Ranzor woke up with a knife in their chest. They woke up to what looked to be black cloaked figures who were trying to kill him, basically. They proceeded to fight them. However, Ranzor did fall in battle, but was quickly revived due to the halfling who runs the Slayer's Take. Searching the bodies, they found a note that had 2 contracts on it for Ranzor and Mahin. 2,500 gold for each of them when the contract is completed. After completion, return to the waterfall. Asking about the only waterfall that was near here was a little bit down the ways, but they could go check it out to see if it leads to any clues. They decided sure, so Ranzor, Mahin, Rayran, and Alistair made their way to the waterfall. Oberon joined them on their way. And approaching the waterfall, it seemed to be just a normal waterfall. However, Mahin did jump on a rock that was actually a pressure plate that caused 3 water elementals to spawn. They broke out in battle. Having a tough fight with the water elementals, they did manage to kill them and make their way inside the waterfall to take a short rest. Upon entering the waterfall, there was a tunnel that led to what looked to be a room. Upon entering the room, after stepping on another pressure plate where Mahin almost fell into poison spikes, Rayran, with a quick reaction, did manage to save her from falling in there. Entering into the room, they did see Morlara, who is the cleric's best friend. They stepped on another trap upon entering the room and led to a huge iron fence being brought up, trapping them inside. Morlara talked to them about what they did to Kira, how when Alistair tried to save her, they quickly tried to stop him from doing it, and basically blaming them for her death. She talked about how she was overcumbered in guilt because she wanted to come but never did. And she wanted to see how they dealt with guilt. She cast a spell on them, an illusion spell, that made them, that really messed with their minds. Whatever they, any guilt they may have had or past traumatic experience, they would experience. For instance, Ranzor experienced his lover back in his past that he had executed without knowing. Rayran seen his family that he that he left, I guess, in a way to speak. Mahin saw her best friend, who she let the Thieves Guild kill, and then Oberon saw his family and friends when he dreamt about burning the whole village down, and practically did burn the whole village down. But after the spell wore off, she cast a charm spell on Alistair and brought out a rock elemental to fight them. The group busted into battle with Morlara. She did go unconscious, however, but the rock elemental quickly took her and buried underground, and the group took quickly after them. Ranzor finishing or dealing the last blow killing her and the rock elemental. The group made their way back to the Slayer's Take to tell them what happened. The Slayer's Take understood. They just decided to head to the tavern. Drinks were bought for them due to them doing a good deed for the Slayer's Take, because one of their members have been corrupted. And the next morning they decided to complete a contract so they can take Oberon to be welcomed into the Slayer's Take. Yeah, sorry I yawned. If you yawned, make sure to like this video. Anyways, upon waking up, they were quickly, not really awoken, but more surprised by a human running in, screaming that a dragon has been seen heading towards this direction. The group was talking with the halfling at the time. The halfling decided, okay, so since you guys want a contract, your contract is to get rid of that dragon. That's your job, now go outside and go do it. The halfling then decided to leave and did not want to fight a dragon. Mahin made her way up the Slayer's, or up Undercity, up on the Slayer's Take, sorry my edges, to see what looks to be a large mithril dragon coming down to Undercity. As it lands on the ground, the dragon has purple eyes as it slowly forms back into its human form. Mahin, asking who this was, the dragon called herself Soreth. Soreth, who is the guardian of Stormwind, the protector, and also Naris is the king's dragon. She asked to see Alistar, that the king and queen of Silvermoon wished to see him, for he is a little bit of a peace treaty between them two. He went inside and got Alistar, Raywin, and Ranzor and Oberon to go outside with her, and they all proceeded to hop on Soreth as he reverted back into a dragon form and head to Silvermoon. Upon the ride, Ranzor asked about the Shadowfell, asking about shadow dragons and trying to get any information that he can. The group learned about the elemental mages, dark, lightning, light, fire, lava, and so and so. The Shadowfell holds a dark mage who goes by the name of Shadow. She is insanely evil and is one of the mages who seeks corruption and wishes to destroy the portals entirely so that anything in the Shadowfell can be released into the plane of existence where the group is currently on. The group made their way to Silvermoon. They met their way to the king. They all entered. Everyone bowed besides Ranzor and Oberon. The king and queen thought this was highly disrespectful of them too, and sentenced them to leave the castle, and told Alistar to never bring people like that in again. And were not happy with him. They told him that there have been some occurrences inside the ruins of Silvermoon, and that he should go check it out, and then report back to me directly. They made their way to the ruins of Silvermoon, which was just a huge wall blocking off half of Silvermoon that they never really noticed until now. Upon entering, the area was completely ruined and burnt. It was scorched. Silvermoon is known to be a really beautiful town, but this just looks to be the complete opposite. Walking around, they did come across a graveyard. I think Mahin and Oberon managed to see looks to be a bunch of humanoids with their skin coming off and claws. As they quickly took cover, they did see a woman standing there who had blue glowing eyes, dark skin, who looked to be commanding these these zombie entities. She did, however, since they were there, told them to come out and ask what they want. The group trying to reason with her, she told them she has business to do. She wants to get revenge back on the king and queen and all of Silvermoon for when the fall of Pellar's Light happened. When one of the comets hit this side of Silvermoon, no one helped. She wishes to kill everyone inside Silvermoon to get revenge, and then headed inside a crypt, leaving the zombies with them. The group took into battle with these zombies, not anything too troubling for them to handle. They made their way inside the crypt to see the woman standing at looks to be 3 altars. As they were discussing how should we handle this, maybe we convince her to come join us. Maybe there's a different way we can do this. They managed to convince Alistair to persuade her in a way. Alistair's past with Silvermoon was he was one of the models for the painters there. The group quickly made a joke saying, maybe you should go and start posing for her. You know, that's what you're good at. With a really good persuasion check, Alistair began taking off his armor and trying to talk to the woman, who actually did stop what she was doing and listen to Alistair telling him to put back on his clothes as he was beginning to take them off. The group talked with her, saying there's different things you can do. There's good. There's more good instead of just killing all of Silvermoon. But maybe you can come work. You can come help us. You can come work with us, and we can make a difference. Maybe figure something out. The woman introduced herself as Kata. She is a Death Knight. Who was brought back to life from some unknown reason, but she thinks it was to seek revenge against the king and queen. She told them she'll think about it, and when she's ready to give an answer, she will return and find them when she is ready. And she head off, telling them that the items on the altar you can go ahead and take, and she will be leaving. Upon the altars were an armor completely doused in blood that looked to be similar to plate armor, but not quite. There was a long sword that was completely coated in blood as well. And to the very right was an orb, what looked to be a dark red liquid, similar to blood as well, just constantly spinning together in a sphere. Mahin taking the sword instantly, and Raymond studying the orb sensed it contained a great power, and decided to instantly grab it without a thought. As he grabbed the orb, however, blood seeped inside his veins, and his skin grew pale. His eyes grew to a red color, and his teeth began to have fangs as he turned into a vampire. Raymond was not happy. Did not want to be a vampire at all. The group made their way back to Stormwind to tell them about what happened at Silvermoon. Screwed up. They headed back to Silvermoon to talk to the King and Queen and tell them what happened. Mahin, however, convinced Alistair to lie about what really happened, because she figured that the King and Queen would be mad that they left someone who was about to for almost attempting treason to be alive or not brought back here. They were, upon talking to them, the King and Queen demanded a body to see her, because they said they took care of it. So they brought back one of the zombies they killed. However, the Queen cast Speak with Undead to talk to the body, find out a little more information, and she casted Zone of Truth on them, so they had to tell the truth. So Alistar, lying before the spell was casted, broke an oath that would cost him dearly later. The king and queen were furious with their lying and demanded them to leave, and they were banished from Silvermoon City. However, as they were leaving, they mentioned, or the king and queen mentioned, that this peace treaty between them and Silvermoon will have some rearrangements as they left. That's when they made their way back to Stormwind to tell Inaris. Inaris was, in a moment of panic, was furious at Mahin for convincing Alistar to lie. Alistar made his way to the Cathedral of Pelor, where Vernola was, and demanded atonement for his sins for breaking an oath to try to get his paladin powers back. Raven also made his way back there to try to see if there's any way he can revert back to his normal form instead of being a vampire. Because this isn't just a removed curse. It's not really a curse. He was turned into a natural born vampire. However, Vernola cannot help. No one could really help. The best advice she found was deities have been known to assist their followers. Raven decided to follow Pelor, Vernola's deity, the goddess of sun and agriculture, and decided to pray on her quite a bit. Pelor did talk to Raven, however, and gave him a chance, a chance of fate, however, where he would pick a card throughout the deck of cards, or the deck of many things, and if he picked a good card, the card would be, or the curse of him being a vampire would be removed. Or if he picked a bad card, the curse will remain stayed. He did manage to pick the worst card in the deck of many things, and the curse was left on him. However, he still continued to be a follower of Pelor, and he decided to leave and go have a date with Finnegan. The group made their way around Stormwind. Mahin was sent to the castle to talk to Alice, or to talk to Inaris. Inaris had put her in jail for creating almost a brink of war between Stormwind and Silvermoon. Mahin was thrown in jail. Her mother, the ambassador of Stormwind, is trying to reason with her, or reason with Inaris, but Inaris is not too happy. They decided not to mess with it anymore, and Sorth, remembering the talk about the Shadowfell, she knew a demon hunter who goes by the name of Blair. She told Raven to come back tomorrow. I should have her here for you, and maybe she can join you guys, since Mahin is currently probably not going to be adventuring you guys anymore. So Blair was introduced the next day. Who is she's an elf nymph, I think, I can't remember, who's a demon hunter, a homebrew class. This is Mahin's new character. She didn't feel like playing her shaman anymore. She liked more of a fighter kind of rogue class, so I suggested the demon hunter would be nice, and she pretty much liked it, so she decided it would be better for her to make it, because she wants to play a more better character in her opinion. Blair is a well-known noble. She was a ambassador of a place I forgot for some reason, but she's an ambassador from the Feywild. She's known of high class and nobility. She was a old friend of Stormwind, and she was well known across the lands for being a noble of high class. She was told to join Raven. Her first mission is to go retrieve Alistar to see if his tones have been, or if his sins have been atoned, and to do whatever. Her and Raven slowly became friends. Alistar didn't take a liking to her too much at first, however, slowly fixed their friendship later on. They made the Raider Slayer's take to initiate Blair and to tell him the news that the dragon wasn't a bad dragon. So the halfling gave them a quest or a contract to kill a Medusa. A group had been previously sent there, however they did not return. So the group made their way to a abandoned building far out from Undercity, about 2 days' walk. Upon entering, seen a bunch of stone humanoid figures who had been completely petrified. Looking around, they did find Medusa, who was standing next to a stone table with candles on it, and looked to be a skull that she was talking to. The group quickly took into battle with her. Alistar almost becoming petrified and stoned himself. Managed to break it, however, and continue fighting Medusa. Raven, however, did become petrified and come completely stoned. Interesting word of phrasing there, I'm sorry. And they caught on to the Slayer's take when Blair decided to write a note as well to tell them need greater restoration, found other members of the Slayer's take to come assist. Upon waiting for them, she looked at the skull, and the skull harnessed what looked to be a deep, dark power that talked to her, saying, "If you free me, I will grant you a wish." Upon freeing Raven, Raven was really interested in this wish. Upon hearing that one of the only ways to remove this is to use a wish spell. However, wish spells are really dangerous, and especially if something is willing to give you one, it usually wants something in return. They made their way back to Stormwind after completing the contract. Blair asked Anaris if she can head to Silvermoon to see if she can reason with the king and queen to see if maybe she can fix this treaty. She made her way over there, trying to convince them. Not too sure if it worked or not, but it definitely fixed terms on how Silvermoon felt with Stormwind. Blair, however, took an airship to Tristful Glades and just continued walking to the middle of nowhere with the skull. The skull telling him to say your wish and then break the skull if you wish to free me. Raven said his wish to be removed of this curse, to have no harm done to him or anything, and broke the skull. The curse was lifted and he was back to his regular gnome self. However, when he smashed the skull, a huge dark soul with red eyes, massive size, announced its names, and that has been released from the Nine Hells to seek destruction upon the world, as it vanished from sight. Raven was just kind of confuzzled of what he just did, but he was really happy that it was back to a gnome, just a full-on gnome again, and he did regroup back with Blair for their new adventures together with the rest of the group. The group has not met Blair yet. We kind of just made her last night, but that was when we ended this session. It was a quite long session, a very long session, but so far it's getting a lot interesting. There are going to be a lot more interesting things coming up, which I'm really excited for. Especially, being the DM, I have all kinds of ideas and plans, and it makes me pretty excited. But however, that is it for this episode. If you guys are enjoying this, always make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Comment below what you're enjoying about the series. Who's your favorite character, and anything really. And I'll see you guys all in the next episode of the End of Worlds. Bye bye.